first of all, you send out Pablo, and he's your ace. And now people are, I got this Twitter stuff that this is all on the poll ads. The whole thing's on the poll ads. I said, okay, maybe big picture, but little picture. They saw Pablo pitch 3 games and ran down the hallway and gave him $75 million at Yankee Stadium, and he's your guy. And this is the biggest moment of the year, starting a doubleheader on Sunday, and he gives up 3 in the first and 4 in the second. In the fourth, it's not the poll ad's fault that Pablo wet the bed. Okay. And everybody said, well, there shouldn't be that much responsibility on 1 or 2 pitchers. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been that way. I've only been following it since the mid-50s, but it's been that way since then. You send out Bert Blyleven and you send out Frankie Viola for the World Series. There's a whole lot of responsibility on those 2 guys, no matter what the supporting cast is. And they puked yesterday because Pablo puked. Although, then again, they scored 3 runs, 4 runs? Yeah. Here was my Twins TV watching yesterday, though. I saw just a little bit of the first game. Second game, I sit down, okay. I get home from the Luke birthday party and sit down, and I turn it on, and the Twins are leading 2-0. And 40 seconds later, they are trailing 3-2 because this lefty we just got throws the biggest puke changeup in the history of baseball right in the middle of the plate. And even as mad as the Fenway crowd is at the Red Sox, they started cheering when the ball was 2 feet off the bat because they knew it was going out of the ballpark. So I turned them off. I turned it back on sometime later, maybe an hour later. And 10 seconds later, Cole Sands hits a guy with a pitch with the bases loaded. That's what I've seen so far in that game today. So,
okay, you mentioned the poll ads, Patrick. Here's what I gathered from what's happening in the last, what's it been, 3 weeks since we started puking down our shirts?
No, August 17th. Since then, since August 18th, they're 11-22.
This is the baseball gods saying, you know what? When you announce you're reducing payroll to that degree, we are not going to reward you.
Yeah, I don't think it's the baseball gods. I think, it is. I mean, obviously.
Detroit sold at the deadline.
Yeah, I know, but that's all based on pitching. They weren't cheap as far as hitters are concerned.
And you're talking about the Twins.
Twins.
Okay.
They weren't cheap. The money was invested in hitters, right?
Sure.
And Correa, Buxton, blah, blah, blah. When you sign them, you're going to miss them. But the hitting has been just as big a problem as pitching through this collapse, maybe more so. And so that's, the other thing is, if you sell a baseball team now, even in this mediocre baseball market with this outdoor stadium, it's going to be 1.2, right?
Sure.
1.2.
Yeah.
Well, they sell 1.2. Somebody's going to pay them 1.2 and then march in here and say, we're going to have a $200 million payroll. You think that's going to happen?
Probably not.
Probably not, especially with no TV deal.
So the Twins have
I'm not defending them because they were stupid. The stupidest thing being, hey, look at us. We're cutting payroll by $30 million. But it's a whole new era of baseball. Just ask me and Juice Sutton.
Look at our new unis.
Yeah, look at that. Look at this hat. Ain't that hat something?
Do the Twins have a de facto GM?
Well, no, it's not de facto. It's Derek Felby. He's running it, but he doesn't have control of the purse strings. Although there are rumors he might become the president.
Really?
Yeah.
What will happen to David?
David would
retire.
He's senior vice president, senior executive consultant or something. Now, maybe that wouldn't happen yet. But listen, David, somebody's going to take the fall for the fact that their season tickets are going to go to an all-time low after this season.
Oh, for sure. I know people personally that said, to hell with them, I'm done.
Yeah.
And these are the most diehard baseball people I know that are saying that.
You know, the funny thing is, now maybe because maybe it works against them when the playoffs are this generous, but it's never been easier to succeed.
Qualify. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
And they still could. They're a game back. They could still
but
do
they
it.
got to go 5-1 this week minimum.
Yeah.
Although Kansas City, what a collapse that's been.
Do we have any game against the Whiteys left? Are we done with the Whiteys?
The Whiteys, the Tigers are home with Tampa, which is done.
Oof.
And probably doesn't give a damn. And then they close with the mighty Whiteys, 3 in Tiger Stadium.
Oh, they got that.
Close. So the worst they're going to go is 5-1 this week.
Oh.
So you got to go 5. Kansas City I think Kansas City might have to go to Baltimore or play Baltimore, which is not playing good. But
they're still a decent.
Oh, God, they're a good club. And then I don't know who else Kansas City. But say goodbye to Detroit. By the way, the mighty Whiteys, they gave it their all, damn it. They played the Padres down to the wire
did.
3 times and then ended up losing them all.
Have you been following the Chicago White Sox Twitter account? They've been a blast over the weekend. They basically just said, we did not score more runs than the other team. They're not giving out the stats or anything like that. Wow. They just are basically saying, Joe, we know we stink.
Are they going to even draw 1 million, do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Will they?
Oh, I think they're.
Let me look it up. That's a good question.
I bet they already did.
They've had a couple games with 3 people.
Yeah, but there's a difference between what they announce.
Yeah, I know.
Every ticket is sold but I don't. No matter how many people have been there, it's more than they deserve.